Welcome to How It Works, a video series from Law Sites and LawNext, in which you get to see hands-on demonstrations of legal tech products directly from their developers. In today's episode, we're going to take a look at ShareFile for Legal, a secure digital solution designed to simplify workflows and improve collaboration. Joining me to tell us all about it today is Sara Hoeg, Director of Product Management. Sara, welcome to How It Works.
Hi, Bob. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here and talk more about ShareFile.
So I wonder if we could start before we get into the demo with my asking you if you could address a little bit about what it is that ShareFile addresses. What's the problem that ShareFile solves for legal professionals?
Yes, of course, I'll be happy to. So first, let me talk a bit about some of the pain points that we see from our customers using ShareFile. We've been, of course, talking to existing customers, market research, and learning more about how our product really help address these pain points in the legal industry. What we are seeing in the market, but also what we are hearing directly from our customers is a few top challenges that they experience over and over again. And this is really whether you talk with small firms or bigger companies. We see a lot of issues with onboarding, client onboarding, administration, admin task, and repetitive work. So there's a lot of heavy document workflows in this industry, as you know better than many. And what we are seeing here is that our customers really struggle with extra time spent and a lot of inefficiencies with these workflows. We believe that ShareFile can help address some of that and really streamline the document workflows end to end. Similarly, we see issues with document categorization, where you might have tons of documents that is collected from clients or by other means, and having all of this organized, easily available in a secure fashion, both for your internal needs, but also to share with clients, is a big pain point for our customers. We also see customers investing in a big technology stack where you might have multiple tools that's being used. But with ShareFile, you actually have the ability to integrate this in one integrated experience so that you can have better operational efficiency internally by using and consolidating one tool. What we're also seeing is with all of these document workflows, there's a lot of exchange happening, both internally and with your clients, where today a lot of firms rely on email as the main communication tool. And it's a big risk for people. How do you secure the documents the right way? How do you ensure that you're not sharing the wrong information? So having secure workflows in place where you're not relying as much as email communication is something that's top of mind for our solution. So with that, ShareFile can really help, enhance the client experience as you have the document exchange. We can optimize employee and process workflows internally between collaborators internally in your firm as well as with your clients. And then all along the way, we have a key focus on the best top-notch information and security practices so that data is secure and that your company doesn't risk a data breach or other issues that you might have working with all of this data and all of these documents. So let me show you how it works with a product demo.
Oh, perfect. Let's do it.
Before we get started, I just want you to imagine, who we are talking about here. So imagine this case for Acme Corporation, and Acme Corporation requires legal assistance from our team against ABC Construction Company. There is issues about, a construction project that might have resulted in significant financial losses. So as we walk through this demo, you'll see names of Acme and ABC Construction as they work through this case. Awesome. So Acme Corporation demo. So I take the case of Emily Garcia, who's a paralegal working on this case. And what you're able to see here is actually client experience, where we internally can now track the project end to end with the different document requests, the files, the contracts, as well as the tasks that we need in order to track the request, working with the plaintiff and the defendant of this case. Since I'm the paralegal, I first need to get the contract in place before actually getting started. So I'm going to show you how we, with ShareFile, can optimize some of these very repetitive agreement workflows and get contracts signed faster in a more efficient manner. So I'm going to figure out the client that actually need to sign this engagement before we move forward. My client's name is Benjamin. So in this case here, you can see that I can quickly find him through my list of clients. And I can actually send him an agreement just with one click.
May I just ask, is that client information already there in ShareFile? You've loaded that in advance?
Yeah, in this case, I cheated and I created Benjamin's contact information already. What I also can do, which is actually a new integration, is that we can bring data in from some of the systems you might already be using. So if you have all your client information in a system like Salesforce or QuickBooks, we can bring that client data in as well and merge that directly into the client agreement. In this case, I'm selecting a document template that I know I need to use for this type of engagement. It could also be, retainer letters, or it could be NDA documents. It could even be a full package of documents if you needed a client to sign specific contracts every time you meet. So in this case, I'm just reviewing that the agreement looks okay. I think it does. Our attorney signature is already on the file, so I just need to hit send, and that will actually send the agreement to Benjamin for signature. That's one of the example of the agreement workflows we have with ShareFile. As the client agreement is sent, because I'm the paralegal and I really own all of the internal processes, figuring out every step of the client process, I also have access to an admin page for automated workflows in process, where I can actually see the status of this client agreement with our client Benjamin. So in this case, you can see here that I just sent an agreement for signature, and you can see that the status of the workflow is in progress. And I'm able to see the details here where you can see sort of every step of whether the agreement has been sent or whether the agreement has been signed. In this case, you can see that the agreement has been sent for signature. I can move over just as my client and sign on behalf of that. So I'll just transfer to Benjamin. You should be able to see Benjamin now. Emily Garcia sent you a document request.
Mm-hmm. So now we're seeing this from the client's point of view.
Exactly. And now I'm the client Benjamin. I'm logged into Benjamin's email, and you can see here that Emily Garcia has sent you a document to sign, where I'm able to sign the agreement. And when signed, we'll automatically create a client project to collaborate on all the documents that I need to collect in relation to this case. What you are also able to see is that I've sent a document request to Benjamin. That means that he can actually access a client portal directly in ShareFile, where we can review the right contracts and make sure that he can upload all the details I need from the ABC construction company in order for us to work together on this case.
So in addition to asking for the client to sign the document that you've sent, you're saying to the client, we need you to send us these certain documents, and you can use this link to do that.
Exactly. Now I'm Benjamin, who logs into ShareFile to see his client details. And what you can actually see here is that, of course, after signing his agreement, he's now able to see what is it that we need to work together with him. So I'm able to see here that Emily has a need for me to upload some of the contracts, upload financial statements, some invoices, some of the scope of the work agreements, some change orders, and some email communications. So this actually gives us a way to organize how things are done within ShareFile. And so I can clearly see what's expected. And let's say that I'm uploading an agreement here. Just select something to upload, the work agreement. I can select the file, and I'll quickly just select an article from ShareFile. I'm uploading a file, and I can now submit that file for review, so that when I found the right document or the right agreement that Emily as a paralegal and our attorneys need to look at, they will get a notification that I've uploaded the document and the document is in review. So to just show you how it looks as a client, right? I get on board, and I can now see that I have this request, open items, and I can see that I have 6 items to upload, with 1 being in review. So as a client, I always have full visibility into what I need to provide in order for the attorney and the paralegal to make progress on my case.
So real quick, the first time I'm a new client at a law firm, first time I get a request from them, do I have to create a login and an account of some kind with ShareFile?
That is true, yes. I skipped that part as a part of the demo, but Benjamin will receive a first email that will be welcoming him to the client portal and will actually be asking him to create an account with ShareFile to access the portal. In the portal, he would also have access to files and folders, where he'll be able to see a regular folder with any files and related contracts. And then in the project, he will actually have the ability to also create comments directly and communicate and collaborate with the service provider. So here you'll see that he'll be able to securely just, submit comments and have communication with his attorney or his paralegal so that everything is in one secure login and not necessarily shared via email. We can use email. We have an email integration, but in this case, we have everything securely in the portal as well. And let me just switch back to Emily's view as the service provider and paralegal. Awesome. So back with Emily, our paralegal in this case, what you're able to see here is that she has full visibility into all details of the automated workflow that we sent for Benjamin. And in a case where the document was signed, I signed the document earlier today, you can also see the timestamp of when the document was signed and that we finished the action of having the agreement signed. We uploaded the signed agreement to a folder. We automatically created a client folder with the signed agreement and we completed the workflow. So all of these steps has been automated by the automation behind the scenes on our end.
Are those templated automations or are those automations that the law firm is able to customize?
We do offer both. That's a good question. So we have templated automation for things like a client agreement workflow where we can automatically create a client folder and create a project, and then invite the client to the project. But we also allow you to actually customize these workflows with a builder. So if you have some custom processes in your law firm, you will be able to add that customization, including capabilities like sending a custom email or custom email reminder to your client. We are hoping to continue to invest in these capabilities, so more automation will come down the line for sure. Going back to our client project, I just want to show you here the little comment that was added by Benjamin. Now Emily can see that there's a new comment by the client and she can return, great, looking forward to be working with you. What Emily is also able to do is that she will be able to see the status of the document request list. So she can see that Benjamin actually uploaded a document. She can review the document, make sure it's the right one. She can approve if it fits the need, or she can send it back to the client in case she needs additional changes to the document provided. In this case, I'm going to approve it. And now there's only 5 items left for the client to upload. Something else that we provide better visibility into with both the client onboarding and the visibility of status working on a case like litigation is the ability to have management of tasks internally. So here you're actually able to review tasks and you're able to see due dates. You are able to manage internal deadlines. So in this case, confirm the trial for December. I've already done this, so I mark this task as complete. And now I'm ready to actually have full visibility in this client project in terms of where are we, what are the next steps, and who's responsible for what. So that's another great capability we added in ShareFile recently to help this management and visibility of a case status. Any questions so far?
No questions so far, no.
Awesome. Well, with that, we are able to fully transform the client onboarding process, providing, accelerated agreements, automating document workflows. We're able to provide step-by-step visibility for the client in terms of what's required when we are requiring documentation, records, documents for a case. And then we are able to offer increased transparency working on the next step of the case and providing that key visibility into deadlines internally. So with this case, showing you that with, Emily as the paralegal and Benjamin as our client, we are now able to deliver additional benefits to our customers, both streamlining the client experience with a secure client portal, with a modernized experience for them, helping with secure document collaboration, where they can actually review and upload documents and have collaboration around the document exchange in our secure portal, and then streamline these essential workflows with automated agreements and custom workflows, including task management, to improve visibility of the solution.
Yeah, that's all really interesting. One quick question, because I know attorneys love their Outlook, and I know you mentioned that there is an ability to work with ShareFile in Outlook. What capabilities are there within Outlook that is everything you just showed me? Is it something you can do in Outlook, or are there only limited capabilities in Outlook?
Yeah, so in Outlook, we offer a Outlook online plugin as well as a Google Workspace plugin that will enable you to select your documents and share those with a secure link from ShareFile. So rather than having attachments of large documents going back and forth, everything that's available in ShareFile is available from within your Outlook plugin, so that you can share that via a secure link. You have opportunity to actually take the attachments from your email and download those automatically back into ShareFile, as well as having an encrypted email exchange, so that when you do need email communication, you can do it via our encrypted email and make sure that everything is secure along the way.
Thank you. Sara, anything else that you'd like to share with us today?
No, I think overall we are definitely committed to helping legal professionals work better, and also learning more about how we can improve for the future to tackle some of these pain points we see, whether it's client onboarding or document classification and secure workflows. So I'm excited to get to know you and be a part of your podcast today.
Well, thank you so much for sharing this. It's been really interesting. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
That's it for this episode of How It Works. Thanks to Sara Hoeg, Director of Product Management at ShareFile, for being with us today to show us about the product. You can find the full series at LawNext.com, or also on YouTube at How It Works. This is Bob Ambrogi. Thanks for watching and listening.